Welcome and thanks for joining us for this episode of Scope. The recent earthquakes being felt in Morobe Province are reason enough to halt the Wafi-Golpu project. Environmental advocates from the Evangelical Lutheran Church of PNG are concerned that the high seismic activities indicate that mining waste cannot be safely stored or disposed within the province. The Morobe Provincial Disaster Center reported 8 deaths in the province following the magnitude 7.6 earthquake on Sunday, the 11th of September. Following that, slight tremors have been felt, with the most recent one at 5.7 magnitude on Wednesday, September the 21st, at around 7:42 p.m. According to earthquaketrack.com, another 4.8 magnitude, with its epicenter located at Finchafan, occurred 4 hours later at a depth of 68 kilometers. Environmental advocates from the Evangelical Lutheran Church of PNG believe Wafi-Golpu's proposed 130 kilometers tailings pipeline, which will run from Bulolo down through Lae into the Huon Gulf, poses a significant risk on the environment and impact communities.
Awesome church, maybe I mean go as far as Prime Minister's office. Me at one time, Bishop, maybe I go come up to Prime Minister's office. Na talk to one time, na me been asking him. You got low blow DSTP long country or no? Na I'm second med na me do okay awesome. By blow one na you me have talk to foreigners na you me entertain him interest for foreigners or accommodate him talk to blow Sowara or DSTP. Awesome na. Me like him nuclear parliament now. You come inside. I'm number 11 parliament. Na nuclear governor of Morobe. So Ogra must come up in strong plan low blow DSTP. Lo one ME point global plan go code suppose AV come up. Awesome na. Government must register him strong plan low on DSTP. Na review him Ogra resource loss. Awesome blow timber, blow copper, blow water, blow fish na one so that only must review organization and make him tough law so that outsiders can use weakness law na bagram in inside the country. Ground emi life lo mibla so water emi life lo mibla na Lae City emi stablo roadway lo this a pipeline by come down. Na Lae City animals is down and human beings is down emi to governor do is down. Now suppose Buria now we come up here. One plug, big plug and hit him Lae City. It's a pipe broke by Lae City by Goswan. Question. Now yet this Aguria, I mean, no kingdom planted something, planted up on Morobe, Bangrabe, I'm showing of them. Straight after 5 days long statement long and long by opening mine, and now Guriaga, and nature I talk out, Osem, DSTP no, Osena, I'm supporting Mibla Osem Bamito. Go di statim long, Mibla line long go di statim long, Mibla ego, na go di definition of Toto long and nature. Osena Gabmani must look out on this plan.
Widuru community leader from Bukawa, Waikasa Amos, stressed that his people along the Morobe coastline were not consulted nor made aware of the direct benefits that would come from the project.
I still start one proposition that's all and no got waste igon channel so wara. No DSTP. This one position from me Mibla start coming up now. Mibla still start one kind position and no got waste by igon channel so wara. Mibla in looking awesome. True only no been consulting or I mean the all numbers line. Mibla no sabe good to mas na all no. First thing you must got social license. Mibla all numbers man or Mibla man where Koto area where Mibla be affected long or the waste Mibla must sim all the talk clear past them. Now yet Mibla no been sim one clear plateau. Now hurry up through and all give permit finish. So past them all must sim license from Mibla must talk yes sir. MOSM license, social license, people like man very well, but people like Simbagra people must talk. Yes, I pass them, na biano give permit. Government long Morobe, I mean, speak to mas na no consulting good order line man very. Or some na people like anomas na people sanap yet no one can position or them government plan waste by don't tell long. So what long this time. And this I'm firm position me like sanap long em. Or been consulting me plan, me plan not sim clear plan talk sa or them na. Low blow mining egg, I mean no straight, I mean no shoot to mass, I mean clear to mass no egg blow mining, almost top clear on me blood. Past time before Otrome West Gonzales. Now you organize something, I mean no stop clear, or something, stop firm, or then waste no na bigon chan so wara bla mi bla long here because ba mi bla si big bla bagara mi ting lo all pikinini na automata bla mi bla long behind through ba mi bla sim bagara mi no like ba only o se mane mo gin mi bla planti o gupla something o pikini bla mi bla o sim korela long so wara bisa sik no gupla bingi mi bla na kensa tu ba kama na kensa e mi no sem lifetime sick ba mi bla kisim o sem na mi bla tok mi sim pes mo ogada line ma me na now mi tok no long DSTP.
Environmental advocate Jotham Keleno touched on extractive-led development, or ELD, which PNG has been practicing for the last 20 years. Keleno described it as a dangerous model. Agriculture is the backbone and foundation of PNG's rural economy, generating income for more than 80% of our people. The environmentalists highlighted that PNG's founding fathers started this country on an agrarian-based economy.
We are standing on precedents. We are asking for intergenerational dialogue. Are we still going to pursue this development model that doesn't work? Or it is about time we stop, think, and act? So we like bring attention to you as a country concerned extractive-led development in general. First things first, from the two positions to taking, you can look at the first thing ELD brings to us is fraudulent consents. Otok pisin, giaman tokore. Time community affairs lo Wafi-Golpu, all officers lo community affairs go sit down na tuktok wanto all manmeri, all tuktok lo narapol something. Very beautiful arguments and presentations. But when they come put their environment impact statement together and submit it to the government, they put a totally different language. No mana you put the report na salim go no ka. Even to your headquarters in Brisbane, Newcastle. So giaman to correct. Mibla talk no. Essentially we go ito yes. And then we start having our government fighting with our own government. Whereas those who were engaging with the communities in the first place, we used fraudulent consent. One. Number two, and of course, environment degradation. That's what ELD brings to an economy, to a country. And we have to do a better cost and benefit analysis. We have not done a better cost and benefit analysis. That is why Uon Gulf, na Morobe Manmeri, Mibla talk low. You know, calculating the risk, how you not take it? Anta no one. Number two. And number three, extractive-led development, what has ELD given to us? We are at the verge of losing our mother, Huonga. It is our sacred site. The entire 200 kilometers stretch of it, Wasu to Waria, we are about to lose it. That's why we talk no right. And of course, militarization of our people. Go down using force, fighting, threatening all man. Start lo mining license area yat me yanta hengamu. Ikam pianin pipeline kam gulo namis. Police fighting all mangin natin na threatening all na threatening all loksim consent. Now is this a freedom country? Is this a democratic nation where you use force to get consent? These are the side effects of ELD. Is this model working? For us, it's not working.
When we come back, Kokoda Wild Adventures make a coral planting a tourism activity. Coral planting is now a tourism activity for tours in Bootless Bay, a 20-minute drive out of Port Moresby. The Kokoda Wild Adventures, in partnership with the Conservation and Environment Protection Authority and Lakwaharu coral farmers, initiated this a couple of years back. Although the partnership is new to the country, the organizations have had challenges during the 2 years of scheme was being implemented. Apart from coral planting, CEPA is taking measures to partner with locals to create conservation activities like coral planting, chicken farming, and mangrove rehabilitation. The Kokoda Wild Adventures, in association with the Conservation and Environment Protection Authority and the Lakwaharu coral farmers, initiated a coral planting excursion for the public. TVWAN News went along on the excursion in August to capture the coral planting on Lion Island in Bootless Bay outside Port Moresby. Kokoda Wild Adventure team leader Holland Mado said that due to COVID-19, the initiative to tour Bootless Bay came about, apart from the Kokoda track.
So Kokoda Wild is basically, it operates trekking mainly for the full Kokoda trek. Because of COVID, we were unable to do the Kokoda trek. It was closed because we decided to do something local.
About 210 corals were planted that day. The Lakwaharu coral farmers and Hiri coral farmers from Tubuseria village are assisting with the planting, and now, after 4 years of doing so, have a farm of corals. CEPA's branch manager for Marine Protected Area, Bernard Suruman, said the importance of coral planting must be known to the general public.
In agreement with one of the NGO partners called CEPA, who had a bit of funding to support such activities and also send locals to train over in Fiji. And so it allows the communities to take ownership of the marine ecosystem. The other is that it allows the fish to come back, and corals and fish do associate.
The associated organizations are planning to make this a quarterly event so that the public can participate and revisit their farms occasionally. Coral planting may be a new thing to the country, however, is rapidly building connections, creating a tourist activity. Suruman mentioned that the scheme had faced several challenges.
Yeah, a number of challenges that we have observed. One is that funding from the government is not focused especially on livelihood options, especially for protected areas. We do not have the funding that will support communities to go into conservation, strict conservation. So that's one aspect of it. The other is looking at what livelihood options are there for communities in different areas. As you can see in Bootless Bay, we have quite a fair bit of pressure from the expansion of the city, and it puts the landowners and the communities under a lot of pressure. And fishing is the only other alternative that most of the Motuan communities depend on.
However, this is not to say there were no benefits for the locals, the marine environment and tourism sector. Even Mado thinks the planting of corals is a public attraction.
Instead of just coming and having fun and going back without actually contributing to that place, to the environment, we said, okay, maybe let's do coral planting. That could become one of the tourist attractions there.
Apart from coral planting, CEPA is taking measures to partner with locals to create activities for conservation. Suruman said that CEPA are familiar with the programs that it encompasses mangrove conservation to coral conservation and other livelihood options, such as chicken farming along the coastline communities.
We're quite impressed with the locals who have taken it on, like the Lakwaharu. We call them Lakwaharu coral farmers. They're also chicken farmers. And they also do a little bit of mangrove rehabilitation. They were sent to a training in one of the representatives was sent to a training in Fiji under CEPA, and when he returned, what happened was that we managed to have that MOU with CEPA, and so we started engaging them, along with other partners such as Hiri Coral.
He added that chicken farming was quite a challenge to local communities, especially Motuan communities. Another challenge is trained expertise for farming in different conservation exercises.
We would like to have the coral planting throughout the country, because we have visited, my team has visited different parts of Papua New Guinea. We've realized that these corals are eventually dying because partly of nature, because of the climate change activities that we're experiencing in terms of the increase in sea surface temperature, which causes quite a lot of bleaching, coral bleaching. We find coral bleaching, it's a mass quite a huge area of coral that can die within a short period of time. So we'd like to encourage coral rehabilitation and planting throughout Papua New Guinea, and that is comparable to tree planting on land. Corals out in the sea, we do tree planting on land, but I think that should complement each other. So that's what I'd like to see for Papua New Guinea. I would like to see is that with any more communities going into marine conservation. Marine conservation, the livelihood of every community is along the coast and even up inland is dependent on the sea. You will find that many of the communities that live inland do survive on the sea at some stage in like maybe twice a week. You'll find that people from inland will come down and look for fish or catch fish. I think we've experienced that down the Rigo Way, where you see inland people coming down to the coast because they find protein from the sea is cheap. You don't have to pay for anything. You just go and set the net, and you have protein for the next 2 to 3 days. So we'd like to have marine conservation being encouraged throughout the coastline because it supports our livelihood. You don't have to go to the shop and buy tin fish every day. You can just go down to the sea and get whatever you need and you go back. So if you engage in marine conservation, you're actually sustaining your life and your children or your future generation for quite a long time. That's one, marine conservation, and we are quite happy to support communities as long as communities are willing to take responsibility and ownership, and then they can invite CEPA to come in. We will be happy to assist them. That's one. The other is looking at other livelihoods option. Yes, conservation does not generate income, but conservation helps communities to sustain them. So livelihood options such as chicken farming or maybe things like honey farming, which we have not explored along the coast. Those are options and alternatives that we can look into to support our community so they are not dependent on the government and going to the shops every day to get something that they need.
After the break, village school in Gulf needs learning and teaching resources. Like most rural schools throughout the country, there is a need for proper classrooms, teaching, and learning materials. Though many of these schools are yet at reach of local and respective provincial authorities, the vital facilities needed to advance education is in despair. Ivao Adventist Primary School in Vailala East, Ihu Gulf Province is such school in need.
Like most coastal villages nestled along the coast of Vailala East in Ihu Gulf Province, Ivao village is a small hamlet with no more than 1,000 people. Ivao is only one of many villages whose schools and aid posts have either flourished or left to the wayside with no support from the local government, save for a few private donations from villagers and their families. The village primary school, Ivao Adventist Primary School, has over 150 students, 5 teachers and 2 classrooms for grades 3 to 8. Students come from Ivao and neighboring Koilahu village. The classrooms, one was built by the Adventist Development and Relief Agency in the late 1980s, and the other building built by the community. While it is not overcrowded, it does lack better classrooms, proper teaching materials. It has only a few literature resources aside the Bible. Head teacher Nathaniel Raubi from Morobe Province says the SDA Mission School needs a new classroom, a library, and teaching materials. He says there is a need for proper textbooks and other teaching materials. Currently, the teachers are using textbooks from the old curriculum, outcome-based education, to teach and use of few teaching materials from the new standard-based education system.
Here we have a lot of needs, especially in terms of the facilities that we have. We need chairs, we need tables, we need curriculum materials. We have the student and the staff needs as well. The school is isolated and the community support is not very, very good. because of some of the previous experiences that we have had so far. But currently we have a good teamwork, and parents are coming in to support the school, but again it's isolated. But thank you so much for the initiative, and we believe with the help that is going to be coming in, the communities will come and give a good support, and we will put things in place, and we'll have our children who are going to be educated.
Mr. Raubi is passionate about providing the best education to the local children and calls for a proper library and extra reading materials. With these lacking facilities, he only hopes things will get better. In the meantime, after this story was posted on Loop PNG in early September, the Gulf Queensland Association made a quick response to assist the school. The association has been helping schools and aid posts in the Gulf Province, and a container of teaching materials, stationaries and other learning facilities to help the Ava School is bound for Port Moresby this month.
The PNG Gulf Association of Queensland's mission is to bring together the Gulf people living in Queensland to stand united and raise funds to deliver projects that will change and touch the lives of our people in the Gulf province of Papua New Guinea. Our focus is on the health centres and schools throughout the province. By joining and consulting with the affected communities on the ground, we are able to identify the needs of the people and deliver projects that will be of most use and have an immediate and tangible benefit. When we heard of the Wafi-Golpu Adventist Primary School appeal for assistance through a Loop PNG article, we reached out immediately to find out how we could help. As we were in the process of collecting donations in Brisbane to be packed and sent in a shipping container to PNG for the Gulf Province. Our donations to Wafi-Golpu Adventist School includes student desks and chairs, boxes of books, teaching resources and educational toys. We also hope to deliver some Solar Buddy portable solar lights provided by our charity partner Solar Buddy.
And that ends Scope this evening. A kind reminder to apply simple measures to prevent the transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Thank you for your company. Bye for now.